Pop, man. I want to know what your experience was like working with Lil Wayne, man. Obviously, one of the greatest artists of all time. Can you let the people know that experience?
Oh, that was amazing. That was amazing. That was one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever been a part of. Wayne, somebody I looked up to for years and years growing up. So I sat in the studio to watch him create, when we made We Out Here. Um,
No.
and even before then, man, even when I dropped the Hustle Hard record, like just to see that he wanted to be a part of it, it's just music to my ears, dog. Like I'm a very grateful person, bro. Like, so just the fact that he was willing to do it and be a part of my journey and my history was beautiful. Coming from where I come from, I'm talking about we banged Carter, bro, 3 years, 3 summers straight. Like, Carter one drop. So it was like that type of effect he had on my life and my community, and to watch him create, to be around him, to hear his ideas, watch the niggas skate in the studio. That was crazy. So I was just there, just again, bro, sponge, and just watching him do what he do. And,
sitting back watching the evolution of some of the people you used to be a part of, man. How do you feel now seeing people growing from now to then, including Lil Wayne?
Wow, bro, that's a great question, bro. That's a great question. I think it's been interesting to see. First of all, for him to be in this game for as long as he's been in the game, and I think you to continue with that, constantly reinvent yourself. Because there's not too many artists that have an effect where every time you hear them or sometimes when you see them, they got this reinvention thing about them. So kudos to guys like Wayne, man, who've been able to, just rebuild his thing and make it look different and just continue to expand out, continue to expand itself, bro. I think that shit is it's inspiring for guys like me who's been in it 11, 12 years and just looking at being in it another 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that shit is powerful, and we need to see that longevity.
Now, Lil Wayne has obviously been in the news as of late with his commentary on the George Floyd situation, taking a lot of criticism. I don't know if you saw that, but if you did, what do you think about his comments?
I didn't see his comments. What was his comments?
All right, just to paraphrase what he said, he was basically saying that he has no quarrels with the police department. A policeman, a white policeman, saved his life as a child when black policemen jumped over him. We need to take more accountability and responsibility. It's none of his business, none of his concern. He took a lot of backlash for that. Yeah, and we gave criticism to Lil Wayne. I think he's one of the greatest rappers of all time, but his comments were kind of, even though we understood where he came from, it just didn't seem like the timing was right in that situation. So, paraphrasing, not hearing it, what do you think about that?
Damn. I think that Wayne is speaking from a place of privilege. We can easily forget. We sitting in our mansions and we sitting in our high rises. You can forget. I don't forget because I got family living in it. I don't forget because I got brothers living in it. I don't forget because I got homies living in it. And I got black kids. So it's like, I mean, I don't know. It's his job to save your life. That's what they're supposed to do. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. You have to be. I just don't think that voice is valid because, and not only that, what do I want to say? A part of me says, yes, hold Wayne accountable. Absolutely hold him accountable. But I guess the other part of me that's a fan will say that I knew that I wouldn't even expect him to know much about this in some way. Sounds weird because he's just lived a very privileged life from that point to where he saved his life up until now. So I think that I don't support that statement. And I think that if you ain't out with the people, if you ain't with us, then we ain't with you. And again, bro, that's what I love about all of this is that whether we love them or whether we, whatever, it's like that level of accountability, you're forced to say something. You're forced to speak your true thoughts. And sad to say, but that is a part of the problem, that black men view it like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, especially, that's crazy, bro, that he said that. I'm actually like living with that in my mind. That's pretty crazy that he said that. Because it's like a disassociation type of thing. Like, no, that's weird. That's just, and I don't know. I don't think he recognized the racism that maybe he's dealt with in the past in his career with drugs and all this other stuff. And just because being a black man, I don't know whether that's been muted somehow in him.
It was real weird.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, it was weird because he talked about obviously the feds raiding his plane and the issues he dealt with. We all heard his music, but then there's still kind of he's adamant about his feelings. It was interesting to say the least. But we'll get off of that. You know what I'm saying? But what do you do with community outreach? How's your community outreach? You getting into the community, reaching the people in Florida, man. How important is that to you?
It's very important, and I need to do more of it. I'm always out. I'm always out with the people. Like the march that just passed by, like a week ago, I was out with the people, marching. Out in my city, Broward County, and I've always been in the field, man. Always, whether it comes to my city, whether it comes to helping them. So for me, that's a part of my life work, and I think it's the most important thing because our youth needs leadership and they need guidance, and they need to see normal people who are quote unquote celebrities or people of or somebody in this world that actually are out there with the people, that's actually saying something, that's actually standing for something, that's actually putting time and putting money and finances back into the community, that's helping, that's just helping people, and I think we need that sort of leadership because people need to know that I am also with you, even though regardless of who people think I am, like I'm with y'all regardless. And that type of humility, I think, needs to be seen from all people.
How do you feel about the Southern Florida hip hop scene now? We see so many people that have came out of that, area, man. How do you feel now, coming from the area and now seeing all the talents that has emerged from that area as well?
I think God is good. I think I knew it would happen. I was the first person out of Broward County, one of the first as an artist. And I got a lot of backlash coming out of that city, a lot of backlash. So I'm glad that there's opportunity for the young artists. I'm glad that they're able to provide for their family. That's really the main thing when I think about like these young Kodaks and all of these, the Jack Boys and all of them and just, for them. So it's just that they can feed their family, man, and they can see something outside of what we was told. We grew up in a small city, grew up in Pompano, I grew up in Deerfield. These cities they're right next to each other. So we didn't know anything else. So I think just to be able to, money and having that access takes you outside of like your community and you can see things and then you can start to really, you can inflict change and help back into your community once you step outside of it and you travel the world and you see things and, you level up your lifestyle. So I think it's beautiful.
Now you didn't real quick. Have you always lived in Florida because you kind of don't have that same accent as some of them guys down there, like your Kodaks and all that.
Yeah, I honestly, bro, that's really because I grew up, and Kodak them for nothing, man. Kodak them real project babies, man. I'm a hood baby. That's my thing. And I never allowed my environment to consume me. That's the only difference, I think. And I don't think that's bad. It's not right or wrong. It's just Kodak allowed their environment to consume them, which means that you adopt that language and everything and that gutterness and you keep it with you. For me, I adopted that. So in the beginning, people can hear my voice in my speech and me talking back then. But I never wanted that to take that as an identity because I feel like, again, bro, that's, we got words, man. We got words, and being from I don't know. I just think that that's I don't know. I just think that the slang is always there for sure. But for me, I had to learn how to just be able to express myself very clearly. You know what I'm saying? So talking like now I'm saying like you feel me or like damn bro back there I got down with tripping like so I can't chop the language, but if I'm not conducting, then it might come out when I'm with my dog. I'm like, bitch, dog was on the love, you know what I mean? Like, you feel me? Like, so it's all different, but that's just time and place for it. But, that's in me too. But also, like, I got that higher level intellect as well too. So, I ain't got that dirtiness like them boys got though.
Yeah.
Think about Kodak, man. He young, talented rapper, man. We talk about him so much on this platform, but they're dealing with his legal issues. We talk and debate whether or not he'll have a career once he gets out and dealing with his legal situation. Just speak on the talent and the enforcement situations he's dealing with. Will he be able to bounce back from these once he gets out?
Absolutely, bro. Where we come from, bro, absolutely you can bounce back. Strong heart, strong mind, bro. learning from your mistakes, you know, learning what you can do better, placing examples around us. You know, shout out to young Jack Boy. You know, Jack Boy, like, he an example. He went to jail. He was locked for a while, but when he jumped, you know, he got his mind right.